What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Betting Outside the Box. We're going to talk some MLB teams that need to make a splash during the trade deadline. You might be a little confused. That's not Raphael. That's our guy Nick Menken joining us as Raphael. He's out of the country. You know, he's a man of mystery, Raphael. So he's around town. If you see him out in the wild, snap a picture, win a T-shirt, stuff like that. I don't know what to tell you. So we're going to join or welcome in Nick and appreciate him for joining us, filling in for Raphael, all that good stuff. Don't forget, guys, like, share, subscribe, drop in the comment section. Not only what you want to talk about tonight or today, wherever it is in part of your country where you're watching, but also future topics for this show. We are here Monday, Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern. I got news to update you about Tuesday's show. I don't want to forget that, but Monday's show will not happen. It is happening Tuesday, July 29th. Raphael will be back. So we're just moving Monday to Tuesday. I'll get more in depth about that, though. Welcome in, everybody, in the chat. We got a new member here, Arnoldo. I'm probably saying your name wrong. Hobson, appreciate you stopping by. Guardians win from Thomas. We appreciate you stopping by. Our guy Stop Geo in the house. Good luck, fellas. Nick, welcome into the show. We got a couple things to talk. We're going to talk about, first of all, we're going to talk about Nick and how he got into sports, handicapping and everything like that. We're going to talk about MLB teams that need to make a splash. We're also going to talk about how Nick prepares for the NFL. So if there's any questions you have for Nick, I want to say behind the scenes. I always think of like behind the curtain. Now's the time to really get candid and ask those questions that you normally wouldn't ask in a free pick type show. Doc's Daily is designed to give you free picks and talk about where we're at. This show's not designed for that. And by design, it's not designed for that. We got to have more. I don't know if that makes any kind of sense here.
I know Nick, what you're saying. Go ahead, Lenny.
At least somebody does. Nick, I'm going to hand the reins over to you. Talk to me about how'd you get into sports handicapping? I mean, you had to.
This is exciting, and it's
yeah.
Thanks for having me on first and foremost, and I'm filling in for Ralph, so we'll see if I could fill his shoes a little bit. But I wanted to give you guys just a little bit more about me and how I love sports and became obviously a sports handicapper here at DocSports. And there was 24 years of my life that I ate, slept, and breathed baseball. Okay, if you can't see that jersey right behind me, yes, I did play baseball in college, but a little bit before my college experience, I came out of high school with no scholarships. Okay, I had a couple walk-ons, and I wanted to take a risk on myself, so I went the junior college route, and where I ended up was Iowa Western Community College, and that's in Council Bluffs, Iowa, right there. It's about 5 minutes away from Omaha, and it's about an hour from Lincoln. So Tony, I know all about your Cornhuskers out there in Lincoln, Nebraska. So I went to Iowa Western, and I was fortunate enough to get a couple scholarships after I went to the junior JUCO World Series out in Grand Junction, Colorado. And it was between an ACC school and an SEC school. It was Virginia Tech and Mizzou. And I'm sure, as you could see from my jerseys back there, I went to Virginia Tech. And fast forward 2 years and playing Virginia Tech, I was playing actually North Carolina on a Friday night, and I ruptured my spleen diving for a baseball. Ian Seymour, he now pitches for the Tampa Bay Rays, and he just got called up. He was on the team, he was pitching. It was a no-hitter, so obviously I had to lay my body on the line. I ended up, I brought the same glove, and it's still stiff. Obviously, we were on ESPN2 playing North Carolina, so I wanted, you look good, you play good, of course, Lenny,
absolutely.
Right? So I got this nice custom glove right here, and it's still pretty stiff. And I laid out, and when I came and laid out, I had to catch it like a football. So the thumb of my glove got stuck in between my rib cage. I ended up rupturing my spleen. So that was that. I still got my bachelor's degree from Virginia Tech. I entered the transfer portal because I could not go out like that, and I wasn't going out like that. So I ended up going to the University of Illinois. And in 2020. Then what happened in 2020? Well, COVID hit. And so I said, all right, I'm not going to be a 25, 26-year-old still playing college baseball here. So I hung up my cleats, and this is where I began seeing the opportunities of sports betting. In the legalization of sports betting across the United States, it was becoming fast. And so after college, obviously, I would always be betting with teammates in summer ball, betting on games, stuff like that. So that's where the betting instinct came, and then creating an algorithm behind baseball. So actually, when Griffin and I moved out to Miami, we would manually put in our algorithm our lineups every single day of every single sport or every single team. My apology, on the lineup. And we would have the win probabilities, and we would obviously do adjustments. And that's when it really became a product for us. And we then took an offshore broker and we completely ripped them up for a couple $100,000. And now, still to this day, I won't say what offshore broker, but I'm only limited to $5 max bet on that offshore broker. So when I started reaching out to companies shortly after that. I wanted to be an analyst. I wanted to be a handicapper. And unfortunately, I worked with a competitor of DocSports. I won't say the name there, but I'm sure you guys could look it up and figure out who I was or where I was at. But I knew that DocSports was the top of the top in the handicapping business. And I knew Griffin was already here. And that's where I took myself and I went and saw the boss man. And then obviously the rest is history.
It's a wrap from there. Once
how I got
into it. Your grasp, once you go have pizza with them, it's a wrap. I mean,
it was a wrap.
I mean, that's how it works. And similar, I mean, not I don't have a similar background in the fact that I played or anything like that, but like, works for another place, and sooner or later everybody wants to gravitate towards Docs. I mean, it's the cream of the crop. Been around as long as I have, and God knows that's a long time. You know what I mean? So talk to me about football. I mean, everybody wants to talk about football is a hot topic right now, obviously training camps and stuff like that. How do you prepare for football as a handicapper? I mean, you just mentioned how you talked about baseball and everything like that. How does that product, I like that, how you labeled that as a product. I like the way you worded that. How do you take that model and then put it into football? How is it the same preparation, or how do you do that?
There's different statistics, obviously, when you have to create an algorithm and weighting on bases like yards per carry or red zone efficiency. So stuff you weigh different areas, but the model in baseball was always the strongest, and that's how it became. But let's look at baseball and what I do. The preparation, it starts early here. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. As a handicapper, you always got to be ahead of the market here and not reacting to it. So you got to review, obviously, the last week's games. You got to go in depth. You got to watch a little bit of film. Obviously, the box score, it's not opening up your score app and checking the box score and saying, yeah, that team looked good last week. I'm going to go here. You got to look at the yards per carry. You got to look at that red zone efficiency and stuff like that. And really the injury reports and in-game adjustments, how they adjusted in the game. So that's where film comes in. That's where I kind of look at it. And especially with the injury report, I don't know about you, Lenny, but how do you look necessarily at the injuries and the personnel news?
I this is where the degenerate in me comes into play a little bit, because I mention all the time, like I'm not a big future guy, but I do bet football a week in advance. Like, so most people are like betting Monday Night Football on Monday Night Football. On Sunday, I'm already like, after the Lions game is over on Sunday, I'm immediately handicapping the following week, possibly two, at least tracking the number of where it goes. I'm a big proponent of that. Stop Geo. Yeah, I see you in the chat. He knows this. He's followed me for years, and that's how I approach football. Is like, I look at where the book thinks the number will be in 2 weeks, and then it's a combined. You mentioned this, the injury report. What's happened? What's different? Why is that line moving? Is it moving because the public moved that line? Did sharp bettors move that line? Did the injury report move that line? Did the way they played last week move that line? Why is it moving, and where is it moving, and how do I get on it? That's usually what I want to be a part of. But that's kind of how I approach football. Drop in the chat what you do, how you perform or prepare for football. And you can't say just watch Detroit Lenny videos, because that's what everybody does. I see Thomas asked for some help in the chat. I hope you got it. I think everybody answered your question there. We're not affiliated or sponsored by anywhere or anything, but I think you could find I think your initial question was if you could find college football lines and NFL lines for week 1. I've already bet week 1 stuff.
You're ahead of the game
NFL,
here, huh?
absolutely.
The preseason on Thursday?
No. I've already wagered week 1 regular season football other than the Lions.
That is why they call you the degenerate there, Lenny.
Yeah. Raphael,
I don't dive deep into football until that first Hall of Fame game. Like that's when I personally start going into it. And it's Thursday, I know. After that, then it's balls deep. But I've always, when the All-Star break has always came for the baseball season, I'm hearing ESPN talking about football. And to me, I'm a baseball guy. I can't stand that. Okay. I cannot stand that. I'm in the present. I like where I can make money right now. And when I get closer to when football's actually on, then let's dissect it and dive into it. But right now, I'm cool, calm, and collective. We're focusing on the baseball side of things.
Man, I'm so envious because like I wish my head worked like that, but I'm I'm an oxymoron. I'm an oxymoron is what I am. Like I won't bet futures in the NFL, but I'll bet week or 2 ahead of time in the NFL. But I won't bet futures in some games I won't like, but I'll bet the Nerfy. Like I'll bet I'm all over the place. I'm a mess, folks. I am just a mess. And Stop Geo, I see you in the chat, brother. I see you put you're fading me today, and that you bet the Tigers money line, and you're saying that I know what you're saying. You can't say that you fade me very often because me and Stop are on the same wavelength. We're in the if there was a degenerate support group, me and Stop would be the leaders. Yeah, me and him would. He'd be bringing the. He definitely. You're a degenerate. Yes, I am. I'm the people's degenerate. You're welcome. Also, I'm on Corey Seager over 1.5 hit. See, this is why we get along. And he's seeing the ball like a laser beam. Cashed his 13 straight home games, last 17-20 career versus Wentz. Look at that. Stop Geo giving you gems in the chat. That's my boy right there. That is
a gem. That is
appreciate you. Get after that, folks. Get after that. Where are we at time frame wise? We're moving. We're doing good. Listen, Raphael's not here to yell at me and keep me on timeline.
We're just having fun.
I know we're just, just a couple of guys throwing the ball back and forth here. Okay. That's all it is here. That's all it is. But let's talk about our topic 2 here. We introed Nick. Everybody loves Nick. If you don't know, by the way, you shouldn't need this show to know who Nick Menken is. But part of the Dirty 630, part of the Docs Daily. He's all over Docs Daily. And he's probably we only have a handful of cappers here at Docs anyway. We believe in quality over quantity. And he's one of the guys that gives you guys free picks on a regular basis. And not a lot of guys do that. And I don't care. I take shots. Clap back 2025. We all know that.
Hey, we hit our 3-team prop on the Docs Daily on Wednesday too. That was plus 690. Okay. 690 Griffins too.
Raphael's somewhere right now going, don't talk about parlays, but I'm telling you, me, Nick, and Griffin gave out a plus 690-ish player, or no, it wasn't player prop. It was a 3-team parlay though. There was a Nerfy in there. There was a player prop. There was a money line. It was all kinds of wrong, and it felt so good.
Good.
It did. Let's talk about our next topic here. We gotta talk MLB teams that need to make a splash at the trade deadline here.
MLB teams that need to make a splash.
I don't know about that voice and all that. It's graphics.
I love it.
It's a work in progress here. We're going to give you a couple of teams here that we feel need to make a splash at the MLB trade deadline, which is now 6 days away. So we've already had some news today with the Yankees making a move for infielder. Want to talk about that a little bit? Making a move for what's his name?
McCullers?
Ryan McMahon.
McMahon.
Yeah, from the Colorado Rockies. That's who it was. Thank you. But talk about give me a team here that you think right away Listen, I got two teams to talk about, folks. One of them is the Tigers. I mean, if you didn't think that was going to happen, you should look away now. But I'll save that to the end there, and I'll keep it brief. Talk to me about a team you think should make an MLB splash at the deadline here soon.
We're going to have to talk about both of our teams, but let me talk.
Absolutely.
But first, let me talk about the Seattle Mariners, and they already made a tiny splash in requiring Josh Naylor there. They just picked him up from the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's not a great pickup. It's a good pickup, but what they need to do, obviously, is get another bat, somebody that produces runs, because their rotation, it's already elite. Their playoff contention, and if they want to beat this Houston Astros team in this division, they got to go out and get maybe the guy that they already had, Suarez, in Arizona. Maybe they should go get 2 Arizona Diamondback members to get on their ball club. I think this Seattle Mariners team needs another bat. Here, yes, they got Josh Naylor, but you need to add another guy that's going to produce and hit home runs like Suarez will here in Seattle, where he did almost his whole career until he got traded there. They want to catch the Houston Astros team. They need to go get a hitter, and I think Suarez is your guy with Josh Naylor. Got 2 guys that were just teammates in the desert there. What do you think, Lenny?
I like that. I do agree Seattle makes a move here. I mean, you got to, in that division, I mean, I'm looking at where's my standings here? I had that division. Oh, here we go. I mean, I'm looking at that with Houston. Texas, I still think, is a sleeper in that division. So I still think they, depending on the next week, really Texas is going to have to, my grandmother used to say, you know what, or get off the pot kind of thing. You're either sellers or buyers. And I think Seattle is going to make a push to try and catch Houston. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people talk about Houston making a move. My team in the American League talk about is the Houston Astros. I don't think they make a move. Why would they? I mean, and I feel like I don't feel like I think they have a solid team. They're always in the running right now at this point of the year. They're always the team. They're just not a flashy team. They're not going to have the big. I mean, yes, they have some big name players, some veteran guys. Don't get me wrong, but they're not going to be a team that go out and make big splashes at the trade deadline. I have never thought they've been ones to do that. I don't think they need to. I think they can win this division, the Houston Astros, without making a big move. But I do agree. I think your Seattle, or not your Seattle Mariners, but the Seattle Mariners, your play about the Seattle Mariners, your take on that, I do agree. The Seattle Mariners need to try and catch the Houston Astros.
Because, I mean, you look at that rotation for Seattle. They got Wu, they got Logan Gilbert, and they got Castillo as well, or Castillo, or whatever his last name is. Luis Castillo. Castrillo? Yeah. How the hell do you say his last name? I don't even know.
I call him I want to call him Castellano, but I watch too many mob movies.
My name with the pronunciation too is awful too when it comes to starting pitchers. I'm all over the map, but I think that they have one of the best rotations in baseball. You saw what last year they had the best rotation in baseball. Just their offensive production, just the same as this year, just wasn't there enough to get them over that hump to beat the Houston Astros. I think they need another player to produce those runs and to get it done because they already got their pitching rotation. But let's talk about another team here, Lenny.
Talk about your Cubs. Get it over with.
You know I had to talk about them with Justin Steele, obviously out for the season. Jameson Taillon, whatever the hell you want to call it. He's injured as well, too. And our only all-star horse was Matthew Boyd. He's good. He's not great, though. We need another starting pitcher to have good quality starts here. And another high upside star that I'm seeing on the market here is Seth Lugo for the Kansas City Royals. This guy is a veteran pitcher. He has an ERA under 3 here, and he's going to be very affordable. And potentially you only have to give up prospects for him. Yes, on the other side of things, you got house makers like Zach Gallen, Miro Kelly, but you're going to have to give up a little more. You're going to have to give up Suzuki and Ian Happ, which I'm okay for that. But it's all about pitching for the Chicago Cubs. They need starting pitching. You need a bullpen guy to come in there and close it. I heard Clase and Miller. We'll see on that side. You need somebody to shut down the door. When you do have a 6-run league here in the 6th inning, you need somebody to come in and shut it down for you. So I'm all over pitching for the Chicago Cubs. I'm hearing a lot of talks that they need a third baseman. Not necessarily you could fill that gap. Obviously, Shaw is over there at third base, but you need another horse in this rotation. Imanaga and Matthew Boyd can't do it all. You got to go out and get a horse. What are your thoughts on that, Lenny?
I mean, I've said this all year. We talked about baseball, and we've said this on multiple shows behind the scenes, talking me and you. We're the same team here, the Cubs and the Tigers. We both need pitching, I think, and I think we're both great teams. I think we could make postseason runs. I think we both have the same problems. We need some depth in certain areas. You have at least 2 pitchers, and you need a 3. You need a 3 or 4 guy. I need a 2. The Tigers need a 2. Okay, I'm telling you right now, Casey Mize, Jack Flaherty has just not been him this year. Casey Mize has pitched well. I would say he's a solid. I don't want to say he's a solid 2. I feel like he's a solid 3. But I don't want. You mentioned Seth Lugo. I would love to see him in a Tiger uniform. I don't think he moves in the division though. I think he's more likely to go to a Cubby or somewhere like that. I look for the Tigers to make a run here. Their schedule coming up. They have this Toronto series that they're in, and then they play Arizona. I've been saying this for weeks. That's when we make moves with Arizona. There will be a phone call. This is my Nostradamus crystal ball. Okay. There'll be a phone call, and they'll be telling Sanchez, or they'll be telling Merrill Kelly, don't suit up. You got to go across the hall. You got to put on the old English.
I can see it. I can see it for sure. And Zach Gallen even too. Why not? Take a shot. Take a shot.
I mean, you got to go. I feel like I feel like the Tigers, if they do not make a splash, a big splash, like to announce to the league that they are making a run this year, not next year, this year. Right now, today, we fight. And if you don't make that run, Tarek Skubal is not long-term Tiger.
No shot.
No, I'm just saying. I don't agree. I don't think he can be. I don't think you can expect as a Tiger fan for him to be in that position long-term. We have all kinds of prospects to give up, tons of future. Would love to just go ahead. Jackson Jobe, would have loved to seen him. I feel like he was going to have a great year. He went down.
And let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Lenny. Do you think the Tigers will pay Tarek Skubal that $400 million contract that Boris, his agent, is looking for and will be asking for? Do you think the Tigers will lock Tarek Skubal down and extend his contract?
If they can get a pitcher to make a deep run on like a short-term loan, yes. If they don't make a run, if they don't make a move at the trade, I'll know in the next 6 days if he'll be a Tiger after his contract is up.
Yep.
I will know, and I will have 100% no doubt in 6 days. I will be able to answer that without no doubt in my mind. But if they don't make a move to show him, to show this team, to show the league that they are coming with vengeance, then you might as well wash it up. Just start looking at, I don't know where the.
You said it. You said it, Lenny. Jobe is just a huge miss this year too for that starting rotation. That kid is going to be good for years to come, and that's just like a Justin Steele for the Cubs. I mean, it's just that it sucks. It really does. But now you got to make an adjustment, and if you do want to make that run, go out and get a horse like a Kelly, like a Gallen. You got to go out and get somebody. You got to do it.
Absolutely. I just really feel like there's no other way to go about that. I feel like a broken record when everybody talks to me about Tigers baseball, but I mean, it is what it is what it is. I mean, listen, this is the same team that had less than a 2% chance to make the playoffs at this time last year, and they went on a run. So there's the flip side of that coin. You can go on just about a streak. Streaks run good, streaks run bad. So right now it's just a bad streak.
Bad little hiccup.
Yeah, exactly. I would love a third baseman though. I would love I'm not going to say I'm just as bad at it. Wait till I have to do NHL videos and talk about NHL player props. Folks, I apologize to families, mothers, because I can't pronounce names right. But Eugenio Sanchez, I would love to see that guy in a Tiger uniform. I would love to see that. I think this Tiger team needs a little guidance. Right? They're young. They're dumb.
Sanchez or Suarez?
Suarez. What did I say?
Sanchez.
See?
I was like, oh, Edward. Yeah, he's definitely talking about it.
You know the guy.
I knew what you were saying.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about we got a doctor's orders play. Yandy Diaz. You want the Tigers to get? I don't know. I don't know.
Nah.
I don't know. I don't know about all that. We got a doctor's orders play for you guys. I had to get Nick. Listen, this play will go. Just let me play the intro. Let me just play the intro because it'll all come into play. There's no way that I was going to have Nick Menken on this show and not give out a Nerfie. No freaking way that we weren't going to get a Nick's Nerfie out of this for you guys here. Nick, Mets, Giants, Nerfie, doctor's orders. No pressure, but we won last week. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
I had to give the people the Nickies Nerfie, and we're going to dive right into the starting pitchers and their Nerfie records. You look at Logan Webb here this season. He is 16-5. That's a 76% when it comes to Nerfies for himself. He's on a 9-game winning Nerfie streak. He hasn't allowed a run here in his last 9 starts, and clearly he gets off to good starts. For Clay Holmes, he'll be on the mound here at home. He's got an even better percentage here at an 83%. He's 17-3 this season in first innings. That is absolutely fantastic. We are going with the Nerfie. We're not overlooking it. I know the Giants have been hitting the baseball a little bit better as of late, but I'm trusting Clay Holmes here at home and Logan Webb on the mound. It's a little juicy. It's at a -140. Maybe shop your lines, get it at a -135, but I love the Nerfie here tonight. Take the Nerfie in the New York Mets and the San Francisco Giants, folks.
I preach this all the time to you guys to shop your lines, shop your lines, shop your lines. I shopped my line. I got this at -130. Yes. Am I on the right thing?
Good.
I did. I got this at -130, but I saw it all the way up to -145, 150. That makes a difference to me. Shop your lines. We're on the Nerfie, Mets, Giants. Nick, we appreciate you stopping by. Any final thoughts you got for us before we bounce on out of here?
Nah, just appreciate you guys having me on. Hopefully you guys understand me a little bit better and my background and how I became a capper here now. And let's continue crushing the books. Thanks for having me on, Lenny.
We appreciate you. We're going to take some questions here real quick here. What's up, fellas? Rodney asked about the White Sox. Or he says, wait, am I crazy? Am I stupid for taking the White Sox first 5? What are our thoughts? I mean, it's the White Sox. I mean, you're already feel. I mean, you think what do you guys call this? The Windy City
Classic. The Windy
yeah.
City Classic. I love it. And I actually texted Griff. I said, Griff, Cubs and Sox play this weekend. We got to go. So we might go tomorrow. But I'm not going to say take the White Sox first 5, but the value does indicate, yes, go ahead and do so if you like a little plus money value. I'm not going to say go against my Cubbies. That's not who I am. I ride with my Cubs day in and day out. So maybe, Lenny, you could take that one.
Hauser's the only reason why. The pitcher for the White Sox, he's the only reason why you would take this bet. And I don't hate it because he's on the mound. I think that's the only way to get at this game. Other than that, I mean, I'm probably all over the Cubs. I mean, in some way, shape, or form. I can't tell you any otherwise. I don't think this guy Hauser is speaking of, we talked about ML teams that need to make splashes. That's a guy that I don't think is a White Sox at the end of in the next week or so. I think he gets traded maybe. I don't know. I mean, the White Sox don't have really anything else going on. Maybe
5-2 with an ERA under 2. I mean, yeah, definitely. Teams are definitely being looking at him.
Use some run support. Could use a fresh scenery. I don't think the Tigers are going to get him. They're not going to trade him to somebody inside.
Maybe the Reds. I could see him going to the Reds, somewhere like that. Maybe Pittsburgh if Keller gets moved too as well. We'll see there. So he could definitely fill a role there.
Absolutely. Guys, don't forget about the free $60 account. Links in the description of the video. If you're new to DocSports, head over to there, docsports.com/free60. That's where you get your free $60 account. Take advantage of YouTube Premium as well. Link is in the description of the video. All the levels are listed below. Hauser's he's the only reason why you took it. Exactly. That's the only reason. We both know it, and we both know it's going to be a sweat.
Yeah.
Every one of those. So, Rodney, good luck to you. Good luck to each and every one of you. Nick, appreciate you stopping by. Remember, guys, we won't be here Monday. We'll be here Tuesday, 6 o'clock Eastern, betting outside the box. Good luck unless you're against us. Take care, folks.